Yo, this super producer Bangladesh, man. I just jumped off the porch with dirty glove bastard.
I need you to stay by my side. With you, I'm always satisfied.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We right back at it, y'all. We got a special one for y'all. Got a legend on the porch today. Got the one and only Bangladesh jumping off the porch with us today. What's up, bro?
What's up, my nigga? How you doing?
Man, feeling great, bro. How you feeling, man?
I'm good.
Yes, sir. That's what's up, man.
Blessed.
Definitely, glad to have you on the porch, man. Definitely, just excited to be able to talk to you about, your story and, for you to be able to kick some game to folks out here.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, man, let's get it started, bro. So you're originally from Des Moines, Iowa, right?
Yeah.
Okay, word. And I'm gonna ask you the question I'm sure you done heard your whole life. Me being from Milwaukee, another city in the Midwest, I done heard this. Man, there's black folks in Iowa?
Yeah. Yeah.
Word.
There's an inner city.
Yeah.
The whole state of Iowa is only like 8% black. You know what I'm saying? But I'm from the capital of Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa.
Okay.
I grew up with niggas, like
Yeah.
I grew up in it.
say you don't know no different. Like
I grew up in the inner city,
Yeah.
When I went to school, like middle school, high school, it was more out in the suburbs area. It was like more white, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when I go to school, like that's when I see a lot of white folks. But when I go back to my area, my neighborhood, it's niggas.
Yeah,
you know
yeah. And so I'd imagine that just like, a lot of these Midwest cities, that Des Moines was very segregated then. Black folks was on one side of the city, white folks on the other side, like pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, like I went to school probably 20 blocks, 25 blocks from where I'm from. So that's when you start getting more white community. So I had a different set of friends. I had my neighborhood friends and I had my school friends. You know what I'm saying? My school friends, they lived around the school, so they dated like white girls and shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was two different things, you know what I'm saying? I go back to, to my neighborhood, and these friends never come to my neighborhood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like two different.
Gotcha. Almost like living two different lives. It's like on one end, you got your folks that's right there in your hood, and then on the other end, you got your folks that you...
It's, it's like adapting to all things, you know what I'm saying?
Word.
Yeah.
And so like, when did you know that you had a love for hip hop?
Man, I don't know when I first had the love for hip hop, but I would always have this like idea of producing since I was in elementary. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where it came from. It would just be an idea. I didn't really know what a producer was for real. You know what I'm saying? But my older cousin was into music. He used to buy records and stuff like that. And man, I think when I got to middle school, I seen like how influential I was to like the people around me.
Yeah.
Like, my friends wanted, like, they'll dress like me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I noticed that I was like, this is before influences. This is before we had an influencer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I would notice this, and I'm very observant, so I always wanted to utilize that. You know what I'm saying? Like, what can I turn this into? I got people following me, like doing what I do, like thinking about me when they get dressed. So like, damn. So I would always like beat on the cafeteria table, like make beats and shit like that. But I grew up in the church. My whole family is musicians or singers or something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I was probably like the least talented. You know what I'm saying? All them, they play instruments, they sing, they they do something. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy to say that you probably the least talented, but
Yeah, technically, because
Gotcha.
technically I was probably the least talented as far as like the technical part of it.
yeah,
But I think I was always like blessed with like the spirit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like spirit always spoke to me. You know what I'm saying? So I was always paying attention to that. You know what I'm saying? And it avoided me of getting into bullshit like my friends was getting into.
yeah,
And I think that was like a blessing to it was like it was telling me like I had way more importance than what my surroundings were. So it always kept me out of the bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But when I was a sophomore, Outkast came out.
okay,
And man, I just fell in love with the production of it. Southern Player Cadillac Music, that first single.
absolutely,
And I'm from Des Moines, Iowa, so this is like a totally different wave sound. You know what I'm saying? It had live bass lines, and I just related to it so much. Some told me to move to Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to move to Atlanta. My auntie and cousins they had already moved to Atlanta like years prior to this. You know what I'm saying?
So listening to the Outkast album,
It wasn't even the album; it was the single. I used to hoop. You know what I'm saying? I was an athlete, so I remember like being in the gym with my headphones on, just listening to that. You know what I'm saying? By the time I moved to Atlanta, I kind of stopped. I kind of like put the love of sports to the back. You know what I'm saying? And I just started focusing on producing.
okay,
And Aaliyah came out that year.
okay,
When I was a junior.
yeah,
I moved to Atlanta by this time. Fell in love with the production, Timberland. So I had Organized and Timberland, like they was like doing something to me, you know what I'm saying?
At this time, had you picked up any equipment? Had you been producing
Nah.
or dabbling in that at all?
To take you back, when I was a little kid, I was probably in elementary. My mom, I wanted a keyboard. My mom bought me this little keyboard. I got the picture to this day, you know what I'm saying? I still got the keyboard too.
Oh, word.
But I remember turning it on and I could make loops. Not where I could save them, but I could make a melody loop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when unconsciously it was happening.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, shit was happening. I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
I never had the inspiration to learn how to play the piano. I just played with it.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so by the time I was a junior, I was listening to Aaliyah, like, and back then, like, niggas wasn't listening to R&B. Niggas was too cool for that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm listening to an R&B chick, like, feeling it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these beats is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah, Leah was crazy.
Like, these melodies, this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, Timberland and Organized Noise kind of like, inspired me.
Okay.
With a lot of other things that I'm
Yeah.
leaving out, but
Word.
that was kind of like the core of it.
Word, I can dig it. And so then at what point did you actually say, okay, this is what I want to do, and now I'm about to go invest in some equipment. I'm about to get in here and really start working on my craft.
Well, I knew that when I moved to Atlanta. Like,
Okay.
I moved to Atlanta like with the hopes of being in the Dungeon family. You know what I'm saying? Like, hope I bump into these niggas because they kind of like was relatable to me.
Yeah.
Being from the Moines, I wasn't that. I was somewhere I shouldn't have been. You know what I'm saying? I was in a place that I don't know why I'm here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I needed something bigger than that. Like I can conquer that easy. You know what I'm saying? I was the man already. You know what I'm saying? And when I left, like a lot of my friends, like they didn't understand why I was leaving. Cause I had like, it was like, you know, so much that I had.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, niggas popular.
Yeah.
Niggas played sports. And niggas thought I was gonna fuck up the team. Man, you gonna fuck up the team. You gonna da-da-da-da. You gonna be a small fish in a big pond.
Right.
And I never thought like that. I felt like I needed to be in these places because I'm a big fish nigga.
Word.
Like I ain't just satisfied with this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And I just belong somewhere else.
Now that was an interesting time too when you did move down here to Atlanta because, I mean, you figure the Olympics had come down here.
Yeah, I worked at the Olympics at the Aquatic Center.
Okay,
in
word.
'96.
Yeah.
That was my first job here.
Yeah, okay.
In the
And
summertime.
That's ill.
When a bomb went off,
oh wow.
that was like where I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I mean, Atlanta, it was so much energy around the A
Yeah,
back then.
man, it was like the most cultural shit I ever seen, you know what I'm saying? And I had been down here prior to this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some of my family, my aunt and cousins had moved here in 90. So from 90 up until my junior year, I would come like every other summer.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But I was so isolated when I came here. Cause you know, there's 4 of them and there's me and there's one car. It's like, nigga was bored for real. You know what I'm saying? Cause where I'm from, I'm used to moving around. I'm used to walking here, hopping in the car, like I'm used to moving.
Right.
I'm used to getting like, I'm used to fucking with girls. I'm used to doing my thing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I came down here, it was like so isolated. Cause I couldn't just walk up the street. I ain't know nobody, you know what I'm saying?
Even the public transportation is different here than it is like in the Midwest cities.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So it was more, I didn't like it at first, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't outside, you know what I'm saying?
So I know that had to be a culture shock coming from Des Moines and then coming here to the A, you know, there's this whole, you know, Black Mecca, you know, just what were some of the adjustments that you had to make?
It wasn't really an adjustment and it wasn't a shock to me. It was like what I am, like where I needed to be. So it was comfortable.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, man, like, wow. You know, prior to moving here, I would see black neighborhoods and whole cascade black doctors and lawyers. That was like, damn, that, you know, you don't see that where I'm from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when I moved, it was comfortable. I was comfortable. It was who I am.
Yeah.
Where I needed to be at. You know what I'm saying? We can all be like, there's a lot of us in places that we don't know why we there. And it separates that being where you at can hinder your potential of what you potentially could be.
Yeah, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I would have stayed in Des Moines, I'd have been probably selling crack.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For real. It'll just happen because like that's the surroundings.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah. We never know taking those leaps of faith, like where it's gonna get us. But like when we do it and that outcome comes and it's good, I mean, then it's like, okay, you know, I know what I did this for. But it's hard to stay the course while you going through that journey, you know what I mean?
But, you know, for me, like I was always blessed with the spirit, bro. So like I always knew what I was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? I just knew this shit. You know what I'm saying? Before I was even doing it.
Yeah.
I wasn't physically making beats. I was saying I was a producer.
Word.
You know, my senior pictures, mine got these different senior pictures. We went to Texas to take these shits. It lists, like, you can list everything that you done and what you doing. Yeah. And I had like producer on that shit. I mean, I wasn't producing.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real manifestation.
Real manifestation. But that's what I came to do. Like that's what I wanted to do.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
What was the first piece of equipment that you bought when you decided that you were going to truly pursue it?
MPC. That was the heart of the operation. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn, because I ain't have no knowledge of being in the studio or seeing none of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I started just paying attention. I've been to a couple home studios here and there, and I see like an MP everywhere. I see like the major producers using MPCs. So that was the machine to use at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I bought one in '98.
Okay.
Bought it in '98. Saved my money up and bought an MP.
Okay. And then like when you first started making beats, like did you start out and were they crazy, or like were your first couple of beats trash, or like?
Nah, man, the first beats was dope as fuck to me. I think the only thing I had like only thing that I look back that wasn't right was the sequencing.
Okay.
Like I wasn't sequencing like the hook from the verse and verse from the hook type shit. I might just have that shit just playing, you know what I'm saying? But like as far as like the creativity of the beat, I was good at that shit, you know what I'm saying? Technically, like the sonics, like I might sample something distorted, not knowing, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of the technical aspects of it, I wasn't knowledgeable of. So I have like some messy ass dope shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But man, like my first couple beats, bruh, was on Ludacris' first album.
Word.
Yeah. Cause I was already mentally preparing.
Okay.
I already heard beats and rhythms and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was just at that point just learning the equipment.
Yeah.
And back then, you had to put the sounds into the machine. The machine didn't come with shit. It was just the machine. You had to
load everything up.
You had to furnish the motherfucker with shit and that's what creates the individuality of a producer. You know what I'm saying? Because like what you might hear, I might not hear that. What I hear, you might not hear. We could be fucking with the same record or the same sounds, but what intrigues me is this part, you might not even heard that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's like the difference in where people's styles come from. You know what I'm saying? When you have a blank canvas and you have to furnish this shit and put some colors and shapes to this motherfucker, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, because what you influenced by will pull in certain sounds versus somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, you know, that's where your individuality come from. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like a lost art.
Word. And during this time, did you have like a big homie, a mentor, somebody that had been doing it already, that's, you know, listening to your beats and kind of giving you some feedback and stuff like that? Like, who were your people that when you first copped this MP and you making these early beats, who's giving you feedback?
I didn't have a big homie as far as critiquing the beat, where it's like they telling me if they like it or not. I really didn't look for that. I really like care what a person thought. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, because like people, everybody got an opinion. And what made me is being unique and different, which other people might not understand. If I'm asking them what you think, and they say, oh, I don't like that, it could fuck with my mental. I could think I ain't good enough for doing something right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you are innovator and you like are when you create new shit, people ain't gonna understand it anyway.
That's real.
So why I'ma ask you what you think? You know what I'm saying? I think I was blessed enough in that sense of creating my own lane and style and sound. When something is new, people don't, it's a new invention.
Right.
So they don't know.
Yeah, you don't have anything
You know
to
what I'm
model it
saying?
after. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I never cared what people thought. Now, people would offer their opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know, my cousins would hear my shit, they'll laugh at it and shit, they joke it and all that shit, you know. But that kind of like, you know, your family is probably like the toughest when it comes to doing something new. They're the toughest. And if you can, you know, get past that, like you know, you got thick skin, so it just prepares you for the world. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, they used to laugh at that shit. That sound like this.
Right.
Even when I created my name, Bangladesh, I would get mail. They'll laugh at it. Bangladesh.
I mean, you know, man, cats gonna laugh at anything that's foreign to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but it makes you tough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this is a business that you need toughness and thick skin. You know
Absolutely.
So my whole childhood has been practice to get to this.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because everything's been like laughing at something or joking something. I noticed like in the black community, we don't really embrace. We don't talk up. We talk down.
Yeah.
We don't be like, man, you could be whatever you man, you blah blah blah, woo woo, man, like, man, you could da da da, you know what I'm saying? We be like, nigga, you can't do that shit, nigga, you ain't, nigga, that's weak, nah, nigga, that blah blah blah.
Right.
From your parents to niggas in the, like everybody, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
That's how like kind of black community is. You know what I'm
I mean, it's tough on a visionary because, you know, especially like what we saying, like, you know, in the black community, like amongst some of our peoples, like if people can't see it, then it's just not real to them.
And that right there is why I knew I wasn't where I needed to be.
Word.
Cause my peers, like literally, I could have a dream, and I can go outside, and we could be sharing stories about what we doing, what we going through. And I'm like, man, I'm a woo woo. Man, oh man, I seen the, and niggas is looking at me like, nigga, you ain't selling crack yet.
Huh.
Nigga, you tripping.
Right.
the fuck this nigga talking about?
Right.
So I was like, yeah, it's like being an alien, like around strangers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I knew I wasn't where I needed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because there was nobody, when you don't see an example of something, you're not really seeing shit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But what you in front of.
Yeah.
And we just grew up fast. That's another thing about Des Moines, like the Midwest cities, like niggas grew up fast.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You see
You know, my
so
my
much.
friends selling crack in 6th grade, like driving geeker cars to school, 6th grade, fucking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm a godparent in the 7th grade.
Huh.
My goddaughter's 30 now.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like fast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By the time niggas is 21, niggas be dead or burnt out like they old because they living so fast.
Yeah.
That's how I grew up.
And it's crazy, like no matter where you grew up, that black experience is, the same everywhere. Wherever
Yeah.
it's a ghetto, you know what I mean?
It's the same shit.
It's the same.
But the Midwest is a lot different, I feel like, because there's no outlets.
Right.
At least in bigger cities that have ghettos, like, you see more.
Right. You see like the grass is greener on the other
Yeah,
side.
you
or
can see.
Yeah.
You could see people doing good. You could
Right.
see a celebrity over there.
Right.
You can see shit differently.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It might not make your reality different, but the opportunity, the possibility is there.
Right,
You know,
right.
because you see it. But in the Midwest, we don't have an identity.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't control no sound of music.
Right.
We don't, everything that we do is from some other coast. So we're kind of like, we're just
Melting pots. for
yeah,
everything.
just lost out
Yeah.
here doing whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have no identity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, nah, that's ill. Jumping back into the music too, like, so you mentioned that some of your first records was produced, or some of the first records that you produced
Was on Ludacris.
were on Luda's first album. So how did that come about for you to even get in a position to be, working with Luda and then to produce so many joints on that first album back from the first time?
well, back then, I mean, nobody was nobody. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't really like this opportunity where it's like I done ran into a platinum award winning artist. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Like,
because bro was just on the radio.
Luda
then.
was nobody.
Yeah.
As far as music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I moved to Atlanta, I went to Tri-City High School. Tri-Cities is like a prestigious, talented high school where a lot of talent come out of in East Point, Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Escape, 112, Jagged Edge, Outkast, TLC, the list go on and on. Keenan Thompson from
Okay.
SNL. I used to go to school with him. So when I went to school, I ain't had no money. You know what I'm saying? So during lunch, I'll just be sitting in there just chilling, just quiet. I'm a Pisces. I'm like introverted, chilling. I'm new to the school, and So I just be in there chilling, sitting. Probably 2 weeks in, the same dude. For 2 weeks, me and the same nigga be at the table. Never talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? 2 weeks in, like we just start talking. You know what I'm saying? And we become cool. He come pick me up one night. He got Lil Fate with him. Lil Fate is Ludacris right hand man. When you see him perform, when you see Ludacris perform, Lil Fate is the hype man. So this dude I was talking to, him and Lil Fate cousins. You know what I'm saying? So they came and picked me up. I don't know Fate. Fate, you know, was the one driving and shit. I'm in the back seat. I'm an observer. I just be listening and shit. Fate just be talking. He know everybody. He know he outside in these streets. You know, he rapping. He know everybody. You know what I'm saying? So him and Luda was friends. They went to the same high school. They went to Banneker.
Oh, okay.
Luda from Chicago. So Luda never fit into the Atlanta scene. As far as like, back then Atlanta was segregated. Like if you wasn't from Atlanta, niggas wasn't fucking with you for real. Unless you was just a cool nigga.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you was like different, if you was like something else, niggas wasn't really fucking with you, you know what I'm saying? So just through mutual friends, that's how we all met, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I cut hair.
Oh, okay.
So that was my hustle from junior year till I bought my MP up until about 99 when I made my first hit.
Right.
I was cutting hair. That's how I bought my MP. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So Luda would come. I used to work at this shop in Union City, and it's kind of like around the corner from Banneker,
Okay.
the high school. So this was like the neighborhood barbershop, or Banneker's barbershop. So I seen him come in there a couple times, but in the beginning we weren't really like, we wasn't close. We just knew the same nigga, you know what I'm saying? By the time I graduated, I'm cutting hair in the neighborhood. Me and my auntie had our own shop. So I would cut, you know, every nigga in the neighborhood. Luda would come, and he was like supportive. You know, he had an afro, I'd line him up and shit. But this is how we locked in. I started making beats. When I bought my MP, he came up there, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I just got me an MP. But he don't know me like this. He don't know me. So he don't know my interest is music. You know what I'm saying? He don't know I came to Atlanta to do music.
Gotcha,
He don't know nothing about me. You know what I'm saying? He just look at me as a barber. You know what I'm saying? But Lil Fate knows this because I talk, you know, we have a deeper connection. So when I bought my MP, he thought I was just trying to be down with them or fit in or some shit. You know what I'm saying? So 2 weeks go by, he comes back to the shop. I got beats on the tape. I had just bought me a Galant Mitsubishi, you know what I'm saying? And I took him to my car. I said, man, I want you to hear these beats. He came to my car. I was playing the beats. And like the whole time, he's sitting in the passenger seat, and he just like tunnel vision. I could see him thinking, cause it fucked him up. He ain't like, you know, like to be caught off guard, like unexpected, like damn.
Yeah.
Like, he's just, I'm looking at him, he's like, I could see him thinking, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I played him like 4 beats, was on the tape and shit. We walking back to the shop. He's like, man, what you doing with them beats? I said, whatever we doing with them. Like, what we doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that night I was in my auntie's basement making a new beat. And anytime I make beats, I would call Lil Fate to listen, or Four Eyes.
Okay. Word.
So I had to call his house because that's where they be at. So this one day, I was making, it's the intro to his album.
Okay.
Come See Me, right? I just made this beat, and I called over there. He picks up. He's like, "Man, what you got?" And see, we never had been this cool. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he knew I had something. Like, "Man, what you got? What you got? Play." And I played it for him over the phone. He's like, "Man, come over now, man. Bring all your stuff with you."
Yeah.
I had never been invited like this before until, you know, like I started making beats, you know what I'm saying? So I went over there and shit, they was doing a group thing, you know, it was I-20, Lil Fate, and Luda. But somewhere along the way, Luda just did his solo thing, you know what I'm saying? So I ain't know what he was doing. I ain't know what he was working on, what his vision was. But he, you know, he just started working on songs and yes, he was putting a project together. It wasn't never like an announcement, like this is what I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? It kind of like just all formed together, you know what I'm saying?
Did you guys work in the studio together as he was forming the songs, or was he creating the songs and then y'all listened to them together and stuff like that?
Well, I don't know where he was recording at.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know where he was recording at. I would give him the beats and I'll see him again, he'll play me the song.
Yeah.
Or I'll see him, I'll give him the beats and I'll see him and he'll sing the hook. I came up with this, you know. Use A Hoe was on that first beat tape.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, he came back to the shop and he was like, "Man, I got a hook to that one." He's like, "Use A Hoe." And back then, you know, I'm like, you know, I wasn't feeling that shit.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause I was more like, I'm from the inner city, so when I made the beat, I'm thinking of something hard, like something like grimy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So it just fucked up my expectation
Word.
of what it was. It wasn't that it was bad. It just wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was kind of corny to me.
Yeah, that
Like
song ended up being like a big
Man,
ringtone record.
Man, that
Like
shit was so big, you know, it could have been a single for him.
Yeah, for real. I mean, that song was my ringtone for the longest because it was just funny, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like somebody call you and you hear "Use A Hoe."
Yeah.
Oh, you know.
Yeah. So even What's Your Fantasy, I gave him the beat and he's like, I came back one day, like, he said the hook. And I'm like, it was dope, but I ain't, you know, I never heard nothing like this. Like, I ain't know. Like, word. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really invested in the sense of critiquing what he doing or saying, nah, change, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We was all new to this.
Yeah.
So
Did you know What's Your Fantasy was a hit when you first heard the song?
man, when I made the beat, I knew it was.
Word.
In my auntie's basement. You know what I'm saying? When I made the beat, it came together so like, it just, the way it came together,
Yeah.
it's like, I ain't even do that. You know, like the synth, the violin string and the, I don't know how I played that shit.
Huh.
I played it though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit just, and once I heard, I was like, God damn. And I had that same feeling that I used to have when I was a kid. So I knew it was something. I was like, yeah, this shit dope.
Word.
Because the emotions matched
Yeah.
from like the spirit I was telling you about early on in my life that kept me out of trouble.
Yeah.
So when I made that, it was like, oh, this makes sense, you know what I'm saying? So I knew it was a hit.
Yeah.
When he recorded the song, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't really there for real to even know what was going on.
Got you.
We was just having fun, man. Like we was just doing something that we love to do.
Yeah.
and trying to be something, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I was in tune, like, yeah, oh man, it's gonna go crazy, you know what I'm saying? I was just humble and just going along with, you know, whatever's gonna come. I know something's gonna happen.
Making the next hits, basically.
Yeah.
Word. And so then that came out and then had the success that it did, the critical acclaim that it did. What thoughts are going through your head, like, you know, now? Like, you like, okay, I'm on, I done made it. Like, what's your thought process?
I ain't look at it like that, like I was on, I made it. I was still cutting hair, actually, you know what I'm saying? I'll be in my shop cutting hair, that shit be on the radio, going crazy. Like, I'm a quiet nigga. I never told nobody. I had niggas in my chair, like, shit come on. I never, like, I'm not that kind of nigga, you know what I'm saying? Yo, that's my, you know what I'm saying? I never did that. Only people that knew was my family, you know what I'm saying? But what was going through my head was, I need another one. I need to make another one. I don't need to get caught up on the moment of this. I need another one, and I need another one. I need, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm always thinking ahead of time, so I don't get a chance to live in the moment too much.
Were you in the studio when he recorded the song with Twista, Freaky Things?
I was.
Word. What was that like? Because that's one of my
I was in the studio. That was during
songs.
the album.
Yeah.
That was during like, I want to say that was after he got the deal. So I was there. That was like how sessions used to be, you know, like where artists come and they write on the spot.
Yeah.
And I remember like Twista, it took like, he was in there writing for about 2 hours. That was like the time of, what's the word? That was substance. Like that was like when niggas really try to do something new, try to say something else, try to innovate. You know what I'm saying? And Twista had so many words in a bar. You know, that nigga took about 2 hours. I remember Luda saying something about this shit. Man, you niggas still right. But he was in there.
Yeah.
And he was, you know.
That's funny. As fast as he rap, it take him that long to write.
But it really wasn't long though.
Yeah.
2 hours not really long. It just is now.
Right,
you know
right. Because now, I mean, everybody go in and
it
just kind of
just is
freestyle
now,
it off
but
the top.
you not rapping like him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The nigga be saying, like, he say shit. It ain't like he just rap, he ain't just putting words together.
Yeah, nah, he lyrical.
He's saying shit. Like,
yeah.
when most niggas is rapping with a few words in a bar, he got tons of words in one bar.
Yeah.
For a whole 16, you know what I'm saying? So I understood how long it take.
Yeah.
But y'all was in there
Word.
that session.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was the first time meeting him. That was probably might have been the first session I was in with somebody that I seen on TV. You know what I'm saying? That I was already popping and shit.
Yeah.
I was in the studio with him and UGK.
Okay. Yeah. The UGK song on the first album is crazy too. Yeah. Pimp C came in on
Made that
thing.
in my auntie basement too.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. I mean, hearing that aspect of it, like the fact that, you know, these hits were made, you know, in a humble place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know like that holds just such a special place with all of the accomplishments, you know, too, letting you know that, you know, just, you know, trusting in yourself, like it was the right thing to do and, you know, all that. Yeah,
I always trusted myself. I always believed in myself. I always focused on myself. You know what I'm saying? So couldn't nobody really influence me or the outcome of what I was gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Unless it was something that made sense to be influenced by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Word. So then you went on and I mean have produced for so many, you know, different artists. I mean, from Gucci to I mean, Kelis, Beyonce, you know what I'm saying? Like just, I mean, across the board, like Nicki Minaj, Wayne, you know what I mean? Like, did you ever think, you know, I mean, I know like we talking about, you know, manifesting and stuff and, you know, all that, but like, did you for real like think that you would be working with all of these like top tier artists and like really impacting the culture like this?
I always wanted to be that.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was my goal. You know what I'm saying? To be a super producer, like the niggas that I looked up to.
Word. Word.
Like I wanted to do what they was doing. I wanted to do what Timberland was doing, what Organized Noise was doing. What
Word.
super producers was doing. Like when you go back in the days when you buy CDs and you read credits, like I want to have my name there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't care about being popular or people knowing who I was. That name was so important to me. Like, oh man, who did this? Oh man, it was like that shit like feels like a kid in a candy store. You know what I'm saying? So like I always wanted my name to be a part of the credits and, you know, make shit that was inspirational to the niggas that I looked up to.
Yeah.
Like having their approval. Like, you know, yo man, you dope, man.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you woo woo. That's all I wanted. I always wanted to inspire in that way. And I got what I asked for.
Word,
You know what I'm saying? Now did I know I was gonna like actually work with those particular artists? I didn't. Like that just comes during the time. But
Right.
I did what I wanted to do.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was always the goal. It wasn't to stop there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, that's what's up. So then following in, you know, being an innovator, you're one of the first, if not the first producers to put a producer tag on a beat.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like what made you do that?
I think it was like an unconscious thing. I think I said this before, like I was the first to tag, but I think Rodney Jerkins used to tag his beats. You know what I'm saying? But he was like an R&B nigga.
Oh yeah, yeah,
You know
Dark
what I'm
Child.
saying?
Yeah.
Dark Child.
Yeah.
He was an R&B nigga. You know what I'm saying? I never heard too many like hip hop producers tagging, unless you was like a DJ producer,
Right.
like Just Blaze. I heard his name,
Right.
but he'll say it. It wasn't like a tag. He ain't use it all the time.
Yeah.
But when I started doing that, it was like unconscious. I didn't really know what it was doing. I didn't set out. It didn't set out to be that what it became. You know what I'm saying? I was just doing some shit. You know, I was doing ad-libs on a song, and I kept saying because Bangladesh was my company. Like I had the record company was that.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Because you was going under Sean
Yeah,
Dre.
my government.
Yeah.
But see, I was only going under my government because everything took off so quick. I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't have a stage name. I didn't have a producer name.
Gotcha.
And I didn't want to like just make some shit up that I wasn't gonna like tomorrow. Like I'm a real organic nigga. I don't want to just make up some shit that sound cool right now. I might not like it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't want to like even play with nothing. So I just go by my government. Created my record label, Bangladesh Records. Bangladesh came from just a word we used to say. We used to use that word to describe cool shit. Man, that shit Bangladesh. Man, we gonna take them to root in Bangladesh. Man, that shit I don't know where that shit just is what we used.
Right.
So I had an idea just to create the company Bangladesh Records. Then I was doing ad-lib. I was doing some ad-libs on this track and shit, and I kept saying Bangladesh, Bangladesh, Bangladesh. And I sampled it. I took it, put this little filter thing on it, then I just started putting it in front of beats. then people just start calling me Bangladesh. They didn't know Chandre was Bangladesh. They thought Bangladesh was a whole nother nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of like formed on its own. I never officially like, yo, my name's gonna be Bangladesh. Like niggas just start calling me that. And I'm like, oh yeah. Like it was right there. I had this shit right there. It took me a minute to put it together to make sense. Like, damn, that shit right there. And Bangladesh, I would come up with slogans like Bangladesh bang the best. Before we the best. Before we the best. You know what I'm saying? Bangladesh bang the best. You know what I'm saying? Bangladesh foreign to the ear. Cause niggas always would say like my beat's different. Man, that shit different, that shit different, that shit different. Niggas would be nodding to my shit, but never would write to it.
Yeah.
Man, that shit different, that shit different. That shit normal to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's my normal, but it's different to them. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn. So Bangladesh a foreign country, foreign to the ear. This shit got bang in it. I was like one of the first niggas down here like going 808 crazy with the melody with it.
Yeah.
Like making a bass line out my 808. Niggas just use it for a hit.
Right.
And back then, 808s wasn't even relevant for real. Like niggas was kick heavy. Niggas used kick drums.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't really an 808. 808 might complement the kick every 16 bar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I used to take the 808, put it in my notes in my pad, and change the doom 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 doom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the name just made sense. Then I wanted to always wanted to, you know, have a name that matched my peers. You know what I'm saying? Timberland, Neptunes, Bangladesh, Swiss Beats.
Yeah.
You know, it sounded like a producer.
Yeah.
You know
More
what I'm saying?
impactful. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Word.
it worked out.
Yeah. All right, so you produced A Milli for Lil Wayne. Game-changing song, game-changing beat. Recently, I think Rap Caviar listed that beat as like the number 5 top beat in hip hop. What was the bittersweet feeling of having a hit like that, but then on the back end, the business wasn't handled the way, you know, that it should have been? And I know you've publicly, you know, spoken about that, and, you know, during the lawsuit, and won the lawsuit, and, you know, all that. But what was that feeling though? Because I mean, it's like, I know on one end it's got to be like on top of the world because your art is out there, but then it's got to be frustrating when that business not handled the right way. I'm
gonna be, you know, it was never a lawsuit.
Okay, my bad.
I never, in situations like this, like when the paperwork is right, there's not a concern. It's just the audacity of like, damn, nigga, y'all playing. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm gonna eventually get my money. It was never like, oh man, I'm maxed out. You know what I'm saying? I never looked at it like that. It was the audacity. It was like I never experienced a company that doesn't pay royalties. And it's like the normal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like nobody was getting their money. You know what I'm saying? People were just afraid of them. They had a reputation where they just try you like that. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like a situation where I fucked up something where like I fucked the money up. You know what I'm saying? Because I did a bad deal. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't never like that. As long as the paperwork is straight, like I knew I would get my money. Right. I just had to go the way I had to go about it a different way. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And none of that situation was really intentional. It was back then, man, I had no filter. You know what I'm saying? I had I didn't speak politically correct. You know what I'm saying? I just tell you how I felt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So nigga asked me about them, like, yeah, so what? And I'll be like, man, fuck them. Not knowing they'll take that, fuck Bangladesh shit, fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that wasn't even what the interview was about. It just took a life of its own.
Yeah.
When you say something like that about such prestigious motherfuckers that's winning and people up, everybody's scared of.
Yeah.
And that's really what it was. Niggas just be scared of them. And I became like a Malcolm X of the situation.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I was
yeah.
the first nigga to do this.
Yeah.
Then, you know, years later, then Rick Ross did it. Then Wayne did it. You know what I'm saying? But when you're the first to do it, it's overlooked, but people look at you like you're crazy.
Yeah, yeah. That's that visionary thing we
Yeah.
were just talking about again too. Like when you willing to step out
Yeah.
to be the first person to either take up for yourself
Yeah.
or, you know, to do something different.
Do
than-
something new against the grain. It's like, you're crazy, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody, like, you got to understand it's the music business, like a dick riding game. So
Right.
if they on the top, like, ain't nobody really trying to fuck with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if you're like other producers on the project. They were scared to ruin their relationships.
Yeah.
I never understood. Like, niggas would call me like, yo, man, I can't believe, man, that's hard, man. I commend you, man. I pat you on the back. Man, we was gonna do the same thing, but we ain't wanna ruin our relationship.
Yeah. Folks nervous about getting
It's like, what
blackballed.
relationship do you have? Like, it's a pimp hole relationship. Like, you're not getting paid. Like, what relationship you talking about?
Right, right. Yeah.
Like, you a hoe, my
that's-
nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. that's
it's like
right
it's
there.
like a prostitute. Like, man, I need my dad. Like, daddy, can you, like, you could get that money on your own for real. Like, you
Right.
giving this nigga all your money. Like, this is a pimp hole situation that you trying to savor. It's not worth it to me.
Right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? You gonna keep doing free work?
Right.
Shit don't make no sense.
So yo, to shed light though on the moment in hip hop and on the like beat itself, I mean, that beat, like, I feel like inspired just so many other beats, but then also so many other rappers was like remixing it and doing their own versions on mixtapes and all that.
Yeah, man, that shit was humongous, bro. Like, I was just there. I wasn't really taking advantage of what was going on for real.
Yeah.
That shit did more than I thought it. I mean, when I first heard this shit, I wasn't really feeling it like that.
Word. Wow. That's
But,
crazy.
like, it didn't. I wasn't going crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Because I first heard it on the internet. That was like when that was probably one of the first viral songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure. And then the way they did the video too, like how it was like one of those straight like run through music videos.
Yeah, it was like that because they didn't know what it was. You know, they didn't know A Milli was that. You know, A Milli was like, when I gave him the beat, he made it an interlude on the Carter 3.
Wow.
Wasn't even a song, bro.
That's crazy.
'Cause he didn't know what it was. You know what I'm saying?
They was just gonna be talking over that?
He had different niggas rapping on it. Like, that was when he was doing the Young Money shit. So he had a lot of
okay.
young niggas.
Okay, got you. Like
And-
the early squad up stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
he would
man.
have. This is just what I was told. He would have like niggas like rapping on it throughout the album,
Yeah,
but it was interludes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I mean, I'm glad he made it. I'm glad he came to his senses.
Yeah.
So when you see the video is shot like that because they had to get they had to get on top of it because when it was released, it kind of went crazy,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't their focused record. It wasn't the record they was putting a bag in. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't the record they was going to the radio with. You know what I'm saying? That shit kind of just took a life of its own, organically.
Right.
And they was probably shooting another video and like, man, we gotta shoot this video. So that's why you see it like just random.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that wasn't even like, niggas didn't even know what that was.
Wow.
To be honest, like I never had records where except for like Beyonce, Kelis, Ludacris first shit. I never had records where people just believe in them and the label put all this promotion behind in the bag. I never had that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the records kind of like, they be new inventions. Niggas don't like them. Like the head niggas, they don't like it.
Yeah.
They didn't like Break Up. They don't like Bossy. They don't be liking the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's new. Like man, what is this? This is the rate. Like, we ain't supporting this rap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They be calling me to change shit. And I'm so rebellious. I'm like, nah, I be telling them niggas no. So that's like another thing where they ain't gonna fuck with you. Tell them no. They ain't finna put no bag in your shit. You just told them no on some shit that they want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let the innovators innovate.
Like really, like my whole career been organic shit. It ain't been no management. I ain't been linked to no executive producers. I mean, executive label heads. Like all these niggas, I've never had what these niggas had.
Yeah.
Like everything I've done my way. You know what I'm saying? You know, I never had a Jimmy Iovine. I never had a Clive Davis. I never had a big homie like Jay-Z. My uncles ain't the niggas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything I've done, bruh, has been like off the muscle, bruh. Straight up.
Yeah, no, that's real. And I know that just brings so much more fulfillment too, because you started out with your vision and wanted to do it your way. You stepped in, did it your way, no matter what, you know, trials, tribulations, whatever you went through.
Yeah.
And then to actually see the success and be able to like build a brand and help build other artists and things like that off of your accord and what you set out to do, I know that's gotta be so fulfilling.
It's fulfilling, most definitely. Yeah, it's definitely fulfilling. It's definitely like, it feels good not to be like tied to people and dictated, and, you know, where somebody can dictate your outcome. You know what I'm saying? So really having like control over my own shit. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Nah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So now you've worked with, you know, so many like great artists like over your career. I just want to name a few people and I want you to, you know, share with me like a first thought or memory that, you know what I mean, even pop up when I say them. But Ludacris.
Innovative.
Snoop Dogg.
Iconic.
Gucci Mane.
Brilliant.
Beyonce.
Legendary.
2 Chainz.
The South Jay-Z.
Oh, that's big. That's huge. Yo, so you mentioned 2 songs that were very impactful. Kelis Bossy and Beyonce Diva. And interesting enough, those are 2 songs that I feel like led or have led like the Black woman empowerment movement.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have created the soundtrack, you know, for that message?
Bruh, that's like, that shit is like powerful to know how much power that you can possess from creating music, you know what I'm saying? Like to be in the forefront of it is like, it's big. When I met Beyonce, that's what she said. She's like, that's the first record I did like that. And it brought something to her career. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't take from her. I offered something to her shit to layer on to what she had going on.
Yeah.
Like, that's big to me, you know what I'm saying? Like, to be impactful like that is, I always wanted to bring something to the table. I didn't want to be in the music and just taking. I want to offer something new. I want to, you know, bring my dishes, you know what I'm saying? Bring my drinks and shit. I don't want to go eat and dip, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I wanted to offer some shit, you know what I'm saying? If I was going to do it, I wanted to leave something.
Yeah.
I ain't want to just come take. And that's why I was saying about the sampling and shit, you know, like, I feel like niggas just be taking from the table.
Yeah.
They not offering shit. It's not genuine. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a money grab type shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not, you're not pushing the envelope. I always just wanted to push the envelope because like the possibilities are so big, man. Like if I didn't think like I thought, I wouldn't have none of these iconic things. Everything was an uphill battle, you know what I'm saying? It was never nothing that was identified as what I thought it was to other people. It was always like, nah, I don't know. What is this? It's always like those type of situations that, you know, push through.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like if you talking about me, like you could, like I brought something to the game. Like I offered my perspective and inspired a lot of niggas to do and be what they doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like I was inspired. I just always wanted to inspire.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was inspired because like you can't really be nothing without inspiration.
Yeah.
You need, like, you being a journalist, I'm sure like somebody inspired you
Absolutely.
to push forward and go for it. You know what I'm saying? People don't just come up with these bright ideas on their own. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be inspired by something to push you to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like see the possibility of, oh man, I could do that shit too. I'm into that shit too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Somebody like look like me doing it. Okay, I can make that happen.
So like these records, man, they like inspired so much. Whether you a new producer, a new artist, established producer, like them niggas was biting my shit. You know what I'm saying? These niggas on. You know what I'm saying? They stealing my shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's got to be the illest satisfaction though, when you coming up. I mean, I know in the time it's the most frustrating thing because you like, man, these niggas is on, stealing my sauce and not gonna give me the chance to get on.
You have to really like put it in perspective because I always wanted to be that. But when it actually happens, you look at it like, man, the fuck. So you can't, you get what you ask for. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it wasn't like that, you wouldn't be doing shit. Like who are you? What noise you making if nigga, you ain't inspiring nobody? You just there.
Yeah.
Like you came and ate and left. You know what I'm saying? You didn't inspire nobody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do with sound.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that was big.
Yeah. Did you ever want to quit? Like through all this time, through your grind, did you ever have times where you thought like, man, all right, this ain't working, man. All right, man, I'm like, fuck this, I'm done.
I never
Word.
wanted to quit. I think I was born to do this, you know what I'm saying? I was just born, this is my calling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I can't quit that shit. You know what
Word.
I'm saying? I might have wanted like to do other shit, but
Yeah.
I love this shit. It's not like a job.
Right.
This is my passion.
Yeah.
It's my love. So you can't quit what you're passionate about. And it was never about the money. So that's another reason why things work out, because money is not the motivation. Like when I first started, I never thought about money. Shit gonna come, you know what I'm saying? Shit gonna be there. But if that was like the actual intention, I would probably quit. I would probably have that feeling of quitting it when times get hard, you know what I'm saying? Because it was never no love there for it. So anything you love, I don't think you can quit. Even if you ain't want to be in the music business, I would never quit making music. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's always gonna be a part of you.
Yeah.
All right. So Bang, what you working on next? Like what you got coming up next? I seen like you working on some stuff with Fredo Bang.
Yeah, I did some shit for him. He got a song out that I did, Say Please.
Yeah.
Something different for him. My perspective coming to where he at, like merging the two things. I just felt like Fredo, like, I liked Fredo before I went in the studio with him. I think he like hella talented. You know, a lot of these niggas be like super talented, but you can't tell. It's like people don't really know how talented niggas really be. And that's because like people be afraid to show their range of talent. They think people just want a certain thing. Like, you know, nigga might sing, nigga might do all types of shit, but don't, cause he don't feel like people want that.
Yeah.
But I just took the opportunity to, I always want to bring something new to a nigga, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to just do what they doing, you know what I'm saying? So, like I could bring some new perspective, like, you know, bringing food to the motherfucking party, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, when I played that for him, I didn't think he was gonna like it for real. I knew what it was. That's why I played it first. But I didn't know he was gonna really understand what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? But he did. Nigga went right in there and did that shit. Like the nigga just went in there and don't leave me alone. Like he just did that shit quick. It wasn't like no 2 hours like Twista. It was like nigga just went in there.
Yeah.
And like I was proud of that moment because I felt like that was out of his comfort zone. And it was a hit. You know what I'm saying? I think they should have shot a video for that shit for real.
Yeah.
That shit like got 10 million views just from the little street video he did.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's 10 million views, bro.
Yeah, nah, for real.
Just imagine if they
Need to
pushed
shoot
that
a
shit,
visual
bro.
for that. Yeah, for sure.
And them little kids love that shit, man. That shit big. When I walked in here, Jazzy Faye hit me.
Oh, word.
He's like, yo, I worked with Fredo last night. Man, that shit you did, bruh. Man, that shit inspirational, bruh.
Yeah.
Like this Jazzy Faye telling me this in today's time. Man, that shit is, bruh. Got him over there like, you know what I'm saying? Just when I walked in,
Word.
you know what I'm saying? And niggas don't be hitting me. Like, they, you know.
Yeah.
It was like,
that's
yo,
dope.
nigga, that shit you did for him. We did another one, got Ross on. I don't know what he doing with it. That shit hard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fredo. I did something for Lil Wayne and 2 Chainz project, Collie Grove 2.
Word.
He said it's supposed to be their single.
Okay.
It's one of them. Like it's one of them.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
It's one of them. Everybody likes it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's one of them. I'm excited about that. You know what I'm saying? When it gets released. I've been working with this girl named Taisha.
Okay.
That's like some personal shit I'm doing. Creating a body of work. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of like in the Rihanna-ish kind of lane. But, you know, dope shit, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So you were saying you can go
Chloe
back-
Bailey.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm working with Chloe Bailey. That's dope.
Word. That's what's up, man. You got any final shout outs, last words for your fans before we get up out of here?
Nah, just, you know, hit me up on my gram, Bangladesh Productions. Follow me on my gram. Yeah.
Yes, appreciate you coming through.
Appreciate you, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I need you to stay by my side. Which one?